Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to analyze a game between Erdogmus versus Jordan Van Forest. This is the sixth round on the Tata Steel Chess 2026. On this game we're going to see how the Prodigy Erdogmus beats Jordan Van Forest in a brilliant game from the Tata Steel Tournament 2026. So Erdogmus with the white pieces, Jordan with the black pieces. We're gonna see a game of 4 knights with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6. Here's the four knight game opening, where it's a solid way to begin a game. With the variation of h3, this is preventing black of going either knight g4 or bishop g4. So Jordan goes bishop b4. Natural move to develop. He's preparing to castle his king and put him to safely guarded there. Bishop d3. This is another development move, which may seem a little bit awkward for the bishop on c1 because he's still like on his starting position, but this has got some ideas. Some of them are to play a3, and if Jordan will go, for example, bishop a5, we can go bishop b4, bishop b6, then bishop b2. That way we will develop the bishop, the dark squares from c1 to b2, and continue naturally with the game. Here Jordan castled with the black pieces and white castled too. Jordan decided to take on c3 after 10 minutes of the game. Here this is somehow natural for black to take on c3, because if you think that the bishop here is well placed, actually it isn't. Why? Because it's not controlling many important diagonals here. Therefore he just took the decision of exchanging the bishop for the knight there. Here d takes c3, which is really important to take with the d pawn. Why? Because if you take with the b pawn, you might think, okay, I got the diagonal for the bishop to go a3. However, your pawn structure will be so damaged that will be a weakness in the ending, because you have this like this. The bishop is just ahead of the d2 pawn, and you will have to move the bishop first, move the other bishop, and then probably go d4, but that is a lot of tempo. So the best way to continue with the game is actually what Erdogmus did with d takes c3. This maintains your pawn structure healthy, and you have to continue to the middle game. Here Jordan goes with a5. That's a nice move, trying to gain some space here on the queen side. And Erdogmus goes bishop e3, d6, knight d2. Okay, let's try to understand this move for the knight here. Why did he bring his knight to d2? Because he wanted to continue with some kingside expansion with f4. That would allow the rook to have some semi-open file. Also, we're opening the diagonal for the queen, so we can bring it to action. First develop it and then bring it to action. So bishop e3, f4 as planned. E takes f4, bishop takes f4, knight d7. So knight d7 is also saying, okay, I can also move my knight so I can bring f5, for example, right? And try to fight in this file for the white rook. So knight f3, knight e5, bringing pieces to the center, knight d4, a4. Okay, Jordan is trying to gain some space. We need to stop this or create some real attack here on the king side, because we cannot allow this space gaining moves, because this will give our opponents some advantage because they can go a3, and then if we play b3, it's an awkward move. In the end, then this could be like a real out, outpost or weakness for white to exploit. So here, Erdogmus is going for the plan of going to attack the black's king with queen e1, queen to h4 probably. So rook a5. Okay, since he did not go a3 because b3, b takes a3, rook takes a3, that will develop the rook. But white, of course, if he plays a4, probably white will go b3. So he decided to bring the rook to a5, which allows to develop the rook, and also he could swing to the king side here, which is smart move. Nice way to develop a rook c4. Just moving the pieces to the center so we can have more space. Rook a8, queen c3, rook e8, b3. We're trying to establish our pawn structure here. If he takes, then we'll take with the c pawn, and we have a nice healthy structure. h6 is preventing bishop g5 or queen d2, bishop g5 later, so we wouldn't be able to attack the queen. Here, knight d7, ab, cb, knight takes d3. So he decided to finally take the bishop on d3, which is you may say, okay, the bishop is better than the knight, but in this case, the bishop was just behind his own pawns. He will actually try to find some new diagonals in order for him to be able to improve his position, or go e5 sometime later, but that was far away. So this does not hurt white at all at this moment. So queen takes, knight c5, attacking the queen. The queen is eyeing the f7 according with the white's rook. Here black decided to go f6. That is a logical move. He's not trying to improve his position, but to defend this file that is somehow being attacked by these pieces indirectly. So knight c3, queen e7, rook e1. This is trying to support some e5 in the future, so we could open the file for rooks, and also we're just with an x-ray, we're trying to attack the queen that's on e7. And he realized that, and he went queen to f7. We have queen g3, queen h5. So when we played queen g3 here, we're actually threatening to go bishop h6 because the king is on g8. G8 will not be possible, so that's why he went queen h5, and now e5. This is the brilliant moment of the game. Just like a 14-year-old Erdogmus, a prodigy. Is awesome to watch his games. When I saw this move, I was like, wait, but why did he play d5? Let's try to understand here, okay? You might think, okay, but e5 is just hanging a pawn. It is, but it's actually a beautiful positional sacrifice. Here, if we analyze, for example, let's say if f takes e5, okay, but we just gave up a pawn. Wait a minute. Bishop takes e5, brilliant move. Here we're just trying to attack the queen, which is misplaced. As you can see, the queen cannot go back to anywhere that's not attacked by the white pieces here, okay? So for example, if we take and d takes, we can go rook e5, and the queen does not have anywhere to go. He will have to accept his rook, and we will go rook takes e5, winning the queen and having enough advantage to convert the win for white. So here what he did is he went g5. In order to avoid all of these tricks, he tried to escape on this diagonal from h4 to d8. So queen takes g5, h takes g5, bishop d4. Okay, so here Jordan went knight d3, attacking the rook on e1, rook e3, knight b4, knight b5. Here I would like to explain something. When he played knight b4, he's eyeing the a2 pawn, yes, which is being defended by the knight, but black has two pieces attacking the a2 pawn. So that will most likely fall, or white will he might think going on a4 with the pawn, but that would just leave b3 weak, so that does not make any sense. So Erdogmus did something really smart here. He went knight b5. What is the idea of knight b5? If the black knight takes on a2, then we will take on c7, winning then an exchange for a rook, right? That would be a pin for the knight with two rooks. So he went bishop d7. Okay, you may think, oh, this is giving up the the rook, but no. Wait a minute. If we go knight c7, then he can come with rook takes e3, bishop takes e3, and then of course we will go rook c8 or rook e8, and the game will continue here. So rook e8 check, rook e8, knight c7. White has let's say 5 pawns, black has 4 pawns, but look at this. We have 3 weaknesses to attack. The knight is misplaced on the queen side, really far away from the action. We have our bishop attacking on g7, we have our knight attacking the rook, in the d5 square 2. We could go a3, just kick the knight away, and then play knight d5. Here black came here to be some kind of activation with the rook, with rook e2. We went a3, which is a logical move, as I said, the plan that we could think about. So knight c2, attacking the bishop on d4, and the bishop came to f2. This is defending the king absolutely with a lot of strength. So knight a3, white is giving up a pawn, but he knows that he's going to recover some of this, which are a lot weaker. Bishop c6 makes a lot of sense to attack this diagonal. So look at the job that the bishop on f2 is actually doing, is protecting and blocking this file so the rook cannot attack it in combination with the bishop. So rook takes d6, rook b2, rook g6 attacking on g5. Black might take on b3, king f7, rook takes g5, rook takes b3, rook f5 check, king e7, bishop c5. We could have exchanged this piece if we wanted to, but let's see. Now the knight is attacked, so we need to move it. Knight e6 check, king d7, knight d4 attacking the rook. Here we can go king h2, which is the safest option. Knight c4, rook f7. Look how brilliant Erdogmus is playing. He's just pushing the king backwards, so he's gaining a lot of space, and soon he might be able to just continue the pressure and checkmate his opponent. At this moment, Jordan just resigned, and I hope you loved the video. Please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Have a good one, and peace.